Hello and welcome to the February 2022 Stash In and Stash Out video. Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristen and I am a knitter and military spouse, now living in Denver, Colorado with my family. My channel is where I talk about how knitting is interwoven into my life, and these stash in and stash out videos are just my monthly recap videos where I talk about all the yarns that I used up in projects for the month and then all the new yarns that I brought into my stash. So these are the videos where I sit in front of my stash, tell you how many skeins I got out, and show you all the pretties that I brought in. So the goal for the year of 2022 is I want to ultimately use more yarns in my stash than what I bring into my stash. Currently for January, I am at a -6. So basically I want to not have 6 extra skeins this month, or I can have up to 6 extra skeins. The ultimate goal would be to reduce the stash, but net zero is what we are looking for. So I think overall this month I had a pretty good stash out. So I track it all on this little expo board during the month, and then I put it in my making journal at the end of the month as well for a little more finite resource. This is just nice because it sits out and I can see it and it helps motivate me because so far I think it's worked really well. So this month I'm going to tell you the projects I finished. I knit an everyday slouchy beanie which used 2 skeins of yarn, a fingering weight and a Surrey alpaca, so 2 skeins there. I also finished my advent socks from December, so that used 1 new skein of stash because the heels and toes were knit with a non-stash yarn, a yarn that has been used before, so it doesn't count as stash. So that used another 1 skein. I also finished my Chalet Days sweater, which used 5 skeins of a main color and 1 skein of contrast color. So that is another 6 skeins out of my stash. And then I finished 2 more pairs of socks, which I haven't even shown on the podcast yet, but they will go up next week. I finished my pair of Desert Vista Dyework socks for February, so that is a skein of yarn. And then I finished my Saturday morning socks by Molly Klatt of a Homespun House. So since these were color work with lots of different colors in them, this counted as 4 skeins of stash. Did I power through these because it would be 4 skeins of stash at the end of the month? Maybe. Did I knit the second sock in about 24 hours? Also a maybe. Who knows? So 2 more pairs of socks and a total of 5 skeins of those. So all in all, stash-wise, I got out 14 skeins on projects, and then I had 1 skein that I destashed this month because I had bought 1 extra skein for my sweater that I did not need. So I destashed that, so it brings me into 15 skeins out this month. So here's my little, this is what I tracked so far. Yeah. 15 skeins out. That's pretty good. I did have 2 big projects, with the Chalet sweater being 6 and the Saturday morning socks being 4. And some of the 4 on the Saturday morning socks were very minimal, but it still counts because they were a full skein and now it's not. And that's how I track my stash. So now that we've kind of talked about the yarns and projects I used this month, just very briefly, I go into a lot more detail on projects and yarns and what I think about them on my normal podcast episodes. I try to be very brief with it here so that way it's not too repetitive. But now we can talk about the yarns that I brought in this month. And again, I just keep all my yarns in this basket, which I got from a thrift store. It's the perfect length to hold a skein of yarn, so as they come in throughout the month, I put them in here, take photos of them and add them to my Ravelry and update my expo board. Should we talk about what's in here? So I'm gonna kind of go chronologically, so let's see what we got first. The first yarn that I got in this month was my Yarnable box. So Yarnable is a subscription box from Hypnotic Yarn, and every month you can get fingering or DK weight yarn and then some extra goodies. I get the fingering weight skein, so here she is. This is the colorway Raspberry Cream. It's a fingering weight yarn. It's on her plush sock base. 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon. It's really pretty. I'll probably end up making this for a friend. The first person that comes to mind is like my mom. It's not necessarily my shade of pink. I like these more shades of pink. But I've seen this knit up by Kay and I really like how it knits up, so very excited about it. And again, the plush sock is always so nice. But in the Yarnable box, you also get some extra goodies. So I've left these here to show you. I did eat the taffy candies that came almost immediately when I opened it. This looks so good and so real. Like, look at this. Here's the charm from Susie J's. It's a little chocolate cake. It's got a little strawberry on top. It looks so real, guys. Look at that. Look at that icing. Yum. So this charm came in, and I love these types of charms. They are my favorite. So this came in the box. And then also we got a hot chocolate on a stick. So you just put these little chocolates into warm milk and you stir them around and they melt and make you a hot chocolate. I'm very excited about this too. We got used to get these from a little shop in Luxembourg when we were living in Germany, and they had like 50 flavors. I really miss that. But this one looks like it's salted caramel, which is really fun. So yes, this also came in the box, so a really fun Valentine's themed box from Yarnable. And then you also always get a little postcard that has a coupon code to her shop and a really funny quote. And she tells you where all the things come from. And then Decadence, the yarn skein, was brought to us by Cocoa Trees, Sweet Indulgence, and Love Songs. So great, fun box, and that was the first thing that I brought in for February. The next skeins that came into my stash are a couple skeins of Spin Cycle Dyed in the Wool. I already had this one in my stash, so this one does not count. But a friend from work gave me a couple of her skeins that she was willing to part with and destash, and then I kind of picked some others to create a little bit of a fade. So this is going to be my fade. So this first one, this is the one that was already in my stash, is Summer Love. The yellow is Salty Dog. This one is Cassiopeia. Yep, Cassiopeia. And then this one is Holdra. And these are all Spin Cycle Dyed in the Wool, which are 200 yards of sport weight yarn in superwash yarn. Superwash merino. 100% American wool superwash. My plan for this is to make the Metamorphic sweater her newest pattern, where you stripe with another skein of yarn, and I think I'm just going to fade them, and I'm really excited. I'm planning, I'll show you. This is the main color that I'm planning to fade with all of these, so just a nice brown. And I think it'll just transition nicely, and with the striping I think it'll break it up. I'm really excited for this. So I got 3 of these into my stash, and I've only knit the Curio socks with Spin Cycle before, so I'm excited to do it in a sweater. And I love the yellow. This one's my absolute favorite, and I think the yellow in here transitions nicely to this. And then this one has some greens and yellows too, and ending with a nice green. So yes, I'm excited for these. The next couple skeins of yarn are from a homespun house. I am one of her patrons in the upper tier. So with that, you get a sock set every month. and I got 2 months. So I have the December one and the January one that came. I'll post a picture of the January one because I have already skeined it up and started knitting with it, so I forgot to bring it in here. But that one was the January one. It's the colorway Daydreamer. It is so pretty and blue, and I'm so excited for it. And then this one is the December Club. And this is the colorway, it's Polly for the mini, and then Love Potion. This is exciting. So, a little 50-gram sock set. So these are on her soft sock base. It's 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon, 322 yards. So that is that. And then also with that tier, you get 10-gram minis. So these are the January and December minis. I do not count minis toward my total skein count because that would just be impossible to keep track of. So these just go into my mini bins, which are over there. But look at this neon one. Yes. And I love this combo. This combo is pretty. Molly does such excellent minis and sock sets. It's so exciting to see those every month. Next, I bought a couple skeins on a D-stash. Kim, my friend Hugga Canyon, has a D-stash Instagram, and I went on there to look and bought some new to me yarns to try. This is Camilla Fibers from Camilla Fiber Co. It is in Nashville, Tennessee. This is the yak base. So it is 65% merino, 20% silk, and 15% yak. 231 yards. It is a DK. It feels amazing. It is such a pretty color. So I had to get this. And then I also got Birch Hollow Fibers Sojourn Sock in the colorway Oatmeal. So this is 60% US sourced non-superwash merino, 30% Romney, and 10% nylon. So a non-superwash sock, fingering weight. I am very excited to try this, and it's a good, another neutral color that'll just be pretty perfect socks. I envision like a cabled sock for these, just a really pretty classic sock. The next thing that came this month was my Knit Crate box. So in that they have both a normal knitting club and a sock club. So this is from the normal knit and crochet club, and these are Vitalana Ascendance by Knit Crate. This is a sport weight chainette ply. So it is like a nice chainette. It is 100% Peruvian Highland wool, 328 yards. This one is also a sport weight, which is what intrigued me about it because I don't have a lot of sport weight in my stash. It is very pure white, but I was thinking I could make a hat or something else. I'm just intrigued to try a chainette, and I like that it is non-superwash, so that is what intrigued me, and it's really soft. But I think a nice like white hat would be fun. So yeah, those came in my Knit Crate box. It also came with an extra little goodie from Katrinkles. So this is like a little tapestry needle and a little felted sheep to hold it together, which is really cute. And Katrinkles stuff is always really nice. And then in Knit Crate you also get a postcard. On the back they include patterns, and for both the yarns here and for the sock club. So maybe I'll look and see, because this little like KAL here looks kind of interesting. So maybe I might make that with these. If anything, it's a nice neutral to have in my stash. Knit Crate has gone back to where you can pick your color vibe again, because they do like a warm tone, a cool tone, and a neutral tone. And during COVID, with supply chain issues, they were just sending random colors. But now you can preview the colors and then pick which color scheme you want. You can also see the bases that they're supplying. So I much prefer that method so that I can look, see what color, and know what color I'm going to get instead of it being a mystery, because sometimes I really would not like the warm tone but would like the other two, and then of course I would get the one that I wasn't as thrilled about, which is why I paused for a bit. But now that the little bit of choice is back, I'm very excited to get more of those. Finally, I got another haul from Desert Vista Dye Works. So if you've been around the channel for a while, you know I do the Desert Vista Dye Works monthly sock club knit along, where you knit a pair of socks or other small accessory using her yarn. I did it last year, and based on the number of Instagram posts that you do, you can get entered into little prizes. And then if you do all 12 months, you get an exclusive skein. So my exclusive skein came in the mail, and this is what she sent. She sent a sock blank. So I got sock blank number 2 of 92, and it's just a double knit sock blank, which means it'll be 2 identical socks. Also, look at this color. Look at this. So I am probably making this for my March socks for her. I just had to figure out how to cake up the 2 skeins of yarn in an effective and orderly fashion. Guys, I'm so excited for this. I should just unroll it to show you because I haven't done that yet. So this is our sock blank. Doo, 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 doo. I love this bit. It's so good. So yes, that is the exclusive colorway. I've never knit from a sock blank. Have you? Do you have any tips? I'm not like scanning it up and soaking it. No. I'm probably just gonna cake it up into 250-gram skeins and knit from those. Gosh, I love this bit. So that is my first skein that came from her. Also in my like Instagram prizes, I got 5 little minis. So I might make like a scrappy pair from those. I'm just trying not to crinkle too much. And I also got like a little stitch marker, which I've been putting on my socks every month. And I got a little pin, which is on my Cozy Memories back. But in addition to that coming, I also in January placed an order for just some more of her yarn to have. Because I really liked the January new colors that came out last month, so I ordered a couple of those. So I ordered the Coyote, the Trickster color, which I'm just this. The black with the alternating neon, so good. And it comes with a mini. So all of these are on her Viso base, which is a 75% superwash merino and 25% nylon. I also ordered her, I might mispronounce this, the Chiang Mai Moon Goddess color. This is the one that got me. This is the one that got me on the website and the one that got me to place the order. I love this color so much. It's like a good muted pastel-y. Gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. And then I'm always intrigued by her variegated ones to be able to do maybe not a vanilla sock if I wanted to do like a pattern sock. So this is the colorway Stargazing. And this one is a variegated color instead of a self-striping. Or I could even like do another pattern instead of socks. So that one came. I also have one more. This is the colorway Egyptian Papyrus. And this is one that I did not buy. And this is one that I won because every month she does a competition, an inspiration photo. How do I explain this? Every month on Ravelry, Susan puts up a theme and then you can respond with inspiration photos, and then she picks 6 or so to dye new colorways. So I put an inspiration photo of some Egyptian papyrus because of the theme archaeology. So mine got picked, and then I get the skein of yarn because of my inspiration photo being picked. So yes, that's all the yarn that I brought in this month, guys. I'm not going crazy. It's been great. If you were counting, let's check the board. So this month, I also brought in, I cannot see, I brought in 15 skeins of yarn. So 15 skeins out and 15 skeins in means I'm at a net zero for February, which means for the entire year, I am at a -6 skeins in my stash. Round of applause. Okay, you guys didn't hear it, but it's fine. This is a good thing because I recently placed an order from Knit Picks because they're having a Wool of the Andes sale. So I may have a couple sweater quantities coming. So next month may be a little crazy in the balancing of stash in versus stash out. I have gone through a bit and pulled some skeins that I am destashing. So if you're interested in some yarns that may be a little cheaper, that just aren't my aesthetic, they're just no longer, I'm not as excited to knit with them right now, and I'd like to pass them on to a new home, I'll link in the description down below to my Ravelry destash page, and then you can look at those. And if you're interested, you can message me on Ravelry to buy some destash yarn if you're interested. Help me help you by giving this yarn a new home, and you can help me by helping me balance my yarns for March, because knowing the package that is coming, I'm gonna have some serious balancing to do. Finally, before I go, I know in January I was like, these videos are a great time to check in on my Scrappy Projects. I did a halfy square on my Cozy Memories and no squares on my Granny Square blanket. So if you're wondering where those are out, go look in January because nothing happened. I gotta find a time to work on those Scrappy Projects a little more often because I just am not working on them very much. I know Scrappy Sunday and like picking a day works. It's just not working for me because I only get 2 days off. And it's just, I don't know, guys. I don't know. Like I try to do, I don't know. I try to do a square a day and then I just can't, and I don't know. How do you work your Scrappy Projects into rotation? Maybe I should just try to do a square on a Sunday. Maybe that's the stick, and not doing all of them on Sunday. I don't know. But I do need to work on them a bit more. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me today. If you're new here, feel free to like this video, subscribe if you'd like to know when I post my future videos, when I talk about the projects that I actually work on. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps us find new knitters, and I'm on a goal to reach 1,000 subscribers this year, and I've now put that out into the YouTube universe. But thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to leave a comment. Let me know if you are excited about any skeins that you brought in this month. And I will see you guys again very soon for another podcast episode. And make sure you put a little bit of love into every stitch. And I'll see you again soon. Bye! Is it really 15? That's crazy. Wait. 3, 9, 10, 14, 15. Oh, I'm gonna be at 0. It's a lot. It's a lot more in my brain to accept. I want